Coming in, you guys, it's day number 92 of my 365-day Jimmy Ice Bath Challenge. If you've been watching all year long, then you know I've been getting into a very cold temperature ice bath every single day. Right here is the ice bath. Lots and lots of ice being made with the Morozco Forge. If you've not heard of the Morozco Forge before, go check them out. They make a really fantastic product, makes its own ice, filtrates it. See all those bubbles there? That's where the filtration system has been on. And right now, there is a big sheet of ice at the bottom that I'm about to wiggle my big butt on here in a second. That always makes it fun when the underside of my body that's in the ice bath is also covered in ice. I get out and like the whole backside of my body is just numb. Let's take a look at what the temperature is today, you guys. Welcome. 31.9 degrees Fahrenheit. So very, very cold here today. Below freezing water, and I'm going to get in there for 5 minutes. And so I've been doing this every single day all throughout 2022, and today, just as I do every single day, I want to talk about a topic that I think is important here. And I think it's a topic that's going to help you a lot if this is something that you're trying to do, trying to incorporate into your life. By the way, I put 92. It should have been 82. So I don't know why I put 92. Let's correct that real quick. I just noticed that. I'm like, wait a minute. It's not 9. Yeah, is it 90? You know what? Help me out, guys. What day is it? What day am I on? It is 92. Dang, I'm coming up on 100 days? Wow, it is 92. Shoot. Sorry, that just like hit me all of a sudden that I'm about to hit 100 days here in just over a week. Yeah, it is 92. Sorry, I'm not meaning to confuse you, but I was confusing myself. 92 today. But I want to talk about a topic today about how do you convince yourself to get in. And this little trick I'm going to teach you is going to help you so much. Whether you're doing cold showers, whether you're doing ice baths, whatever your level of doing cold therapy is, this trick is going to help you out. So let me set it down. Let's get in the ice bath. As always, I'll be in here for 5 minutes, and when I'm done with the 5 minutes, I will take you guys on a walk, and I can answer any questions, talk to you a little bit. I can't talk to you when I'm in the ice because I can't see the screen, but I will see you here in a minute. But thanks so much for being here. 5 minutes are on the clock. Let's get this show on the road, and here we go. Remember, there's that big sheet of ice at the very bottom. Make sure I don't slip when I get in. There it is. A big chunk of ice behind my neck that's just freezing the back of my head way too much. When it gets wedged back there, it's a little bit hard to loosen it up because it gets back there. All right, guys, so what I wanted to talk about today is how do you overcome the hardest part of this? Literally the hardest part of getting in an ice bath is getting in. Whether you're doing cold showers, ice bath, whatever you're doing, the very hardest part is that initial getting in. Even for Jimmy, it's still the hardest part, is that getting in. And again, don't think badly about yourself that you have a reticence to getting in. That's a survival mechanism that your brain is trying to protect you from what it perceives as danger. So the fact that your brain kind of freaks out about the idea of getting in or getting exposed to cold water, that's normal. Let's not think worse of it than it is. That is a normal reaction by your brain, again, trying to protect you from what it perceives as potential danger. Okay? So the trick that I usually tell people, and that I'm telling you guys here today about how you get in, is tell yourself, all I got to do is 20 minutes. Or 20 seconds, excuse me. Yeah, 20 minutes. All you got to do is 20 minutes. Just get in, stay in. No, 20 seconds in an ice bath. So you think, okay, 20 seconds, no big deal. I can do 20 seconds. And what happens invariably when you get into an ice bath, the 20 seconds comes and goes, and you're like, well, dang, I'm okay. Let me keep going. And maybe you breathe a little more. Maybe you relax into it a bit. And then you start going longer. So those of you doing cold showers, just say, I'm going to do 20 seconds. And watch what happens. You might end up doing a lot more than 20 seconds. In fact, I'll predict that you do. Especially those of you having to put ice in a bathtub. When you go to all the trouble of filling up a bathtub with water, then dumping ice into it and all the everything, you want to do a little more than just 20 seconds. And so I'm very fortunate with the Morozco Forge. I can get in here on a whim, and it's always a set temperature. But not everybody has that. All right, guys, coming up to the end here of the clock, so I'm going to stick my head under the water, as I always do. I definitely look forward to your questions and comments here in a second. I'll be right back. My Michael Jackson impression. With all due respect to the king of pop. Yes. That never gets old. Never, ever, 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 ever. So as always, going to set you guys down while I grab my jersey for the walk. Welcome, welcome. If you just came in or you came in while I was in the forge, day number 92. I even shocked myself at what day it was. I'm like, oh yeah, wow. I'm coming up on 100 days of this. Who knew, right? Who knew I could make it 100 days? Well, I'm trying to make 365 days this year, so 100 days is just a scratching of the surface. But it will be a big milestone when I hit 100 days. A week from tomorrow is when that's supposed to happen. But yes. So, oh crap, I'm on the Wi-Fi. Let me get off of that real quick. Okay, we're back. Because when I walk down this road, I invariably will lose my Wi-Fi because my connection's in here, but I go down that road, I will lose it by the end of the road. So, but yes, you guys, the trick to doing an ice bath is convincing your brain to get in. And so one of the great tricks that you can do is tell your brain, hey, it's for 20 seconds. 20 seconds. And so your brain will rationalize, all right, 20 seconds, no big deal. And so you get into the cold shower, you get into the cold icy bath. Do all your normal things of breathing. Don't freak out, but breathe. Breathe through it. If you like the Wim Hof, doing the Wim Hof, whatever makes you happy when you're in the cold, you do that. And if you tell yourself you're only going to do 20 seconds, that gives you that buy-in factor. Your brain will go, all right, 20 seconds, let's go. And maybe the first time or 2 or 3 that you do that, maybe you only go 20 seconds. But what you will find is, because you've convinced your brain that it's only 20 seconds, at some point, you will want to go more than 20 seconds. It invariably happens. 20 seconds, I feel like I'm just barely getting started breathing after 20 seconds. So I don't really like the idea for me personally, but I've also built my way up to this point where I'm able to do 5 minutes pretty darn easy. Yep. Pretty darn easy. All right, let me scroll back to the top, see who all's here. As always, if you have questions about cold therapy or anything that you want to ask me, fire away. Or if you have comments about my strategy for doing the 20 seconds, just tell your brain, 20 seconds. 20 seconds, that's all it is. 20 seconds in an ice bath. And invariably, you'll stay in. Carrie is here. David, Julia, Leanne, Joe, Vicky. I go by Faye, Sharon, Joe Forn, For Health's Sake, My Keto Recovery, Heather, Melanie, Dan, Jen. Sharon says, get it, Jimmy. Get it. Bulletproof is here. Linda, Blue Wilderness, Lara. Bulletproof says, go, Jimmy. 92. Always creative with the emojis. Miss Chantal's here. True Wings. Ada is here. Hack is here. Nutrient Dense is here. Sheila, Seth, J. Dean, Desert Rejoice, Ansley, Melissa, Judith. Lots of you guys here on a Saturday. That's cool. Thank you guys for being here. Millsy, Bulletproof says, when's the Jimmy World Tour? No, Jimmy is not doing the Billie Jean is not my lover. Although I was an MJ fan way back in the day, that is the music of my childhood, Michael Jackson. So, Laura's here, Crumb is here, Linda, Candlelight, Perina. Bulletproof says, will you ever do an ice bath and then do your hour-long walk and talk right after? Well, the thing about that's a great question, Bulletproof. The thing about that is I'm wearing wet trunks that I was in the ice bath with. I don't know if I want to be walking for an hour, which usually the walk and talk, which I'm doing tomorrow, by the way, 11 a.m. Eastern, be there, be square. Walking for 75 minutes in wet trunks, going to cause some friction on my inner thighs, and I might have some red sore spots when I get home. So on this walk that I do after the ice bath, it's usually about 20 to 25 minutes. So it's not too bad, but 75 minutes and doing those hills that are on that trail, no thank you. Not with wet trunks. I mean, I don't know how it would change my trunks, and I could set you down and then, but anyway, awkward. Ilona is here. Dr. Landrew is here. Hilo. Dan says, hi, Jimmy. What's up, bud? Cindy, Wendy. Laura says, not the kind of friction you want. No, that is not the friction that I want. Rubbing yourself raw because you've got wet swimming trunks on from an ice bath. Plus, I'm still warming up, so no, my hands are still a little numb today, right now, so that is pretty normal. I literally just got out of the ice bath. Not too bad. It felt a little colder. I mean, it was 31.9 degrees Fahrenheit in there today. So that's about as chilly as it gets without it being frozen solid. There was a huge sheet of ice at the bottom, though, that I sat right on top of. So the whole backside, my butt, my legs are pretty numb up because I was literally sitting on ice. And so that happens sometimes when the Morosco Forge makes its own ice. Sometimes it's still in the process of making and it hasn't released the ice yet. And so I got the benefactor of having a numb butt because I sat on ice. But welcome. Coming in, guys. If you're just joining in, I am on day number 92 of my 365 days of doing an ice bath every single day, 32 degrees Fahrenheit for 5 minutes. That was the challenge. And a lot of people have been asking, why are you doing this? I wanted to challenge myself to do something hard in 2022. Some people do intermittent fasting challenges. Some people do keto challenges. I mean, you do all kind of challenges. I wanted to do something that I thought would be challenging, but would be doable. Because I've been doing cold therapy for a very long time, 3 years. And I have always been fascinated by it. And I only recently got the Morosco Forge. I purchased that in the fall. It came in like November, December. I did a couple of plunges when I first got it, and it was much more intense than any ice bath I had ever done. And I got the idea, you know what? I can't claim that I talk about health in totality if I don't put up or shut up with something like an ice bath. And so I said, you know what? It's going to be hella hard, but I want to get in there every single day in 2022. And I've held up that. There's only been 2 days that I've missed. There's one day where I passed out, I blacked out getting out of the hot tub on a day I was fasting. I was almost a week into fasting, and I blacked out getting out of my hot tub. And when I recovered from that, I was like, okay, I don't feel so well. So, and it was like 2 hours before my ice bath. And then the ice bath time was coming, and I'm like, I don't think I can get in there. And I certainly do not need to get into an ice bath if I don't feel well, if you don't feel well, don't push the envelope. And plus I live alone, so if something were to happen to me, I'd be on camera, but you guys would have to call 911 or whatever. But anyway, I'm always smart about these things, and so I chose not to do it that day. And then the other day that I missed was when I had my 50th birthday party. Just logistically, I couldn't figure out where to get it. And so, but I've done 92 days and only missed 2 days. That's a whole lot of ice baths that I've done. And I'm pretty proud of what I've done so far. But I really feel like I've just begun. Because now I've gotten to the point where this is still challenging, but it's not hard. And it still gives me something that's going to push me, but it's not pushing me super duper dippity hard. So I'm always looking for ways, and I've even done it a few times already, to push it, the hardness even more. So I've gone longer. I did 10 minutes in it a couple weeks ago. 10 minutes in a 32 degree ice bath. I will probably here in the next couple of months probably try to do a 15-minute one. I've done getting in, going into a hot tub and getting back into the ice bath and back and forth. I've done standing out when it was winter time still, when it was colder. Standing out in cold 24 degree temperature weather with just my swim trunks on. I did that for 30 minutes. Then I got into the Morosco Forge at 32 degree Fahrenheit ice bath for 3.5 minutes. So I've done all kinds of things. One of the most intriguing experiments that I'm wanting to try that came up during my interview with Dr. Seeger from the Morosco Forge Company, he said, have you tried microdosing the cold? And I was like, tell me more. He said, yeah, there's people that will get in and they'll just do a minute. I'm like, okay, a minute, that sounds good. He said, and you do that a few times during the day, and that's microdosing the cold. And I was like, have you ever heard of anybody microdosing every hour on the hour for an entire day? He said, no. I said, I'm going to do it. So from the time that I get up from my second sleep, because I have biphasic sleep during the night. So from the time I get up from my second sleep, like let's just say 8 a.m., I'll do a 1 minute ice bath, and then 9 a.m., 1 minute ice bath, and then 10 a.m., 1 minute ice bath, and just do that all the way until before I go to bed. So if I do that, that's probably what? Maybe 11 or 12 1 minute ice baths all throughout the day. It'll be interesting to see how my body responds, because I've done short stints in the Morosco Forge in the morning time, and I don't get the sleepiness effect that I get from doing these 5 minute ones. These 5 minute ones, 2 hours from now, I'm going to be conked out. I'm so sleepy. But 1 minute, not so bad. You guys want to see that? I think that would be fun. I don't know that I would go live for the 1 minute every hour on the hour. That would get a little laborious. But what I might do is pull my video camera out and keep it on my camera roll, showing me getting into the 1 minute. Yeah, I could pull that off. I think that would be really cool. We'll give it a go here soon. Free Wildings is here. D-Shonk is here. Sarah, Doran. D-Shonk says, wow, that seems very hard. It's not as hard as you think. I can appreciate why people say that doing an ice bath is hard. It's hard because you're only thinking of it in terms of where you are now. And if you don't do any cold therapy now, yes, a 32-degree ice bath can seem very hard. But when you think about the training that I've done over the past 3 years, starting with warm water after a hot shower, I do warm water. Did that for a period of time, then slightly cooler, period of time, slightly cooler, slightly cooler. I adapted to it over time. That's what the reel was that I made today, was your body is very good at adapting to whatever you do to it. And for me, I have slowly gotten that my body can handle colder and colder and colder, and does very well with it. To the point now that I can be in 32-degree water and I can stay in for 5 minutes, even as long as 10 minutes. 10 minutes is the longest I've gone so far. And yes, my hands and my feet get numb, but I'm not in pain and I'm not harming myself. All of it is for all the benefits that I've been talking about all year long. Those things to kick in. So it's worth it to me. Connie is here. Woman Hunter. Keto KDO. Carnivore Running Mom. Carrie and James and Carmen. Texas Livingston. Yoja is here. Adek is here. Bonnie. Carolyn. So thank you guys for being here. Really appreciate you hanging out here on day number 92 of my ice bath challenge. Still rolling along. And I'm still doing so much research, you guys. I'm in the prep phase for my 11th book. I'm currently preparing to write a book called Cold Therapy Clarity. So those of you that are fans of my other 2 clarity books, Cholesterol Clarity and Keto Clarity, those are my 2 in that series. If you're familiar with that format, that's the format I'm going to use for this new book. And it's going to be all the benefits of cold therapy, from ice baths to cold showers to cryotherapy, all the ways. And I'm going to talk about all the pros and cons of each. I'm going to talk about the practical ways to implement and how you set yourself up to be able to work your way colder and colder, how long you should go, what the ideal is, talk about some of the experiments that I've done and share that information. And of course, a full dissertation on what the scientific literature talks about are the benefits of doing this. And then, as is my signature in these clarity books, I'm going to try to find experts in the field to provide little moment of clarity quotes that'll be a little more sciencey probably in some ways. My style of writing is very, very translatable, very easy to understand. That's always been my calling card, I guess, in the space, is I can make the complex simple. And you don't need a medical degree or advanced knowledge to understand the concept. So many people have said that about keto clarity. They're like, I didn't understand keto till I read your book. And then after reading your book, it made me want to go read all the nerdy books at that point. I'm like, great. That was the point. I'm not trying to do a PhD dissertation on things. I'm giving you the Cliff's Notes version so you learn and understand, and then you go and learn some more. That's my style. That is my style. What will you do on day 100? I don't know, Bulletproof. That's a good question. I'll come up with something, though. You know, my brain never stops of little ideas like that. So, Leanne Fanny, I love that name. That's really cool. Wendy says day 100 will be on my birthday. Oh, well, happy early birthday. Yeah, next Sunday will be day 100. I'll have to do something for 100. Ooh, I know. You guys will kill me if I do this. I will dunk my head under the water for 100 seconds. Now that would be a challenge. 100 seconds? That's a minute and 40 seconds. Could I stay under the water for a minute and 40 seconds? That might be a little dangerous. I'm not going to push the envelope that hard. I push the envelope, but not that hard. So I'll come up with something, Bulletproof. Don't worry. Carrie is here. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Day number 92 of my 365-day Jimmy Ice Bath Challenge. Love doing these ice bath videos. Love teaching you guys. Love sharing my experience. And look, if you're doing cold therapy because you've been inspired to do it watching my videos, please reach out. Let me know what you're doing. I will be, for my book, looking for people that have implemented cold therapy into their life to use as testimonials. And so I know a lot of people in the cold therapy space, and obviously lots of people that I could tap for this, but I would love, if it's fans of my work, to be able to highlight you guys. I'm a keto girl in the carby world is here. Linda says the 100 seconds in the ice bath, dunking my head below the surface. That would seem like a very long time to have your head underwater. Well, I can hold my breath underwater much longer than a lot of people. I grew up in Florida, and so I could hold my breath for a little while, 3-4 minutes underneath the water. I mean, my brother Kevin and I, we used to always have a contest who could stay underwater the longest. And I'd always grasp onto the ladder going into the deep end, and I would hold on for dear life to keep myself under. And yeah, we'd sit there, and I don't remember exactly how long I went under, but I would always beat him. I had good lung capacity, which is what helped me play instruments. And it's what helps me talk, I guess, today. Got a lot of power behind the voice and the breath. So yeah, but 100 seconds in 32 degree water, that could be a little much. That's a lot. That's a whole lot. So I've been ending all my showers with cold water, says Linda, since you started this challenge. That's great. So Linda, have you been able to increase the duration of it, or do you do just a set time and then you're done? Or do you just kind of go, okay, this feels good, and you kind of stay in as long as you want? All of those are perfectly fine, by the way. I don't think there's a right or wrong way to do cold therapy. But it sounds like you're doing really, really good. And so I'm proud of you. So those of you watching on the replay, either on YouTube, on Facebook, or even here on Instagram, go follow me on Instagram at Livin' Low Carb Man, LIVINLOWCARBMAN. Once you're there, you can watch live 5 p.m. Eastern time every single day. I'm doing these ice bath videos and always coming up with new ideas. Definitely join me on the walk and talk. It will be on Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern. And got a great topic about what do you do when you want to give up? Because a lot of people are in points in their life right now where they just want to give up on whatever. Dreams, job, relationships, you name it. They want to give up. Let's talk about what do you do? How do you come up with the decision about what you do? How do you reframe that? So maybe you don't need to give up. How do you reframe that? Or convincing yourself if it's something that you should give up. So lots of little nuances there that we will definitely explore tomorrow. Robert is here. Bulletproof says, have you ever done dry brushing for lymph flow? Yes. Yeah, actually, I have a brush here that I use. It might be over at the other building. But yes, I do dry brushing quite a bit, my brother. I love it. So those of you that don't know, you get you a pretty nice bristled brush, and you just literally on your skin, dry brush all over your skin. It helps to move the lymphatic flow. Now I have this for the lymph. I have my vibration plate, which I've demonstrated before. I got this thing from Dave Asprey, and it wiggles my body pretty well because the lymph doesn't have a way of draining itself. So you do dry brushing, like Bulletproof was just talking about. This is a vibration plate. There's also bouncing. You've got a little mini trampoline, bouncing exercises, or even just kind of bouncing up and down on the ground. All of that helps to move the lymph. There's also lymph massages. I saw one of my friends the other day getting a massage specifically for lymph drainage. Oh, this feels so good. All right, Jimmy's gonna get off now. Oh, that feels so good. Robert's here. Bulletproof says, I asked because I want to, and I'm wondering if you have experience with the dry brushing. Yes, I have dry brushed for a little while. I don't do it every single day. I know there's people that do it every single day. But yes, every time I dry brush, it definitely gives you kind of a tingle response when you're doing it. And so a lot of that's the nerve endings, obviously, that you're stimulating, and the blood flow, and then, yes, draining that lymph, which is so important. No way for your body to do that without your help. Ameriquito is here. Angela's here. Hilly and Chris. Doke. I once tried and felt so itchy. Oh, talking about dry brushing. Oh, wow. The only thing I can think of that you're doing that with the dry brushing that would make you itchy sounds like there might be a reaction to the bristles of sorts, or how hard did you stroke the dry brushing? Because it's not supposed to be real hard, but it's also not supposed to be light. So, and where did you do it? Did you do the whole body? Yeah. And it could have just been a reaction because you moved things around in there that probably have never been moved. And so it's kind of like when people start fasting and they see these boosts in their blood sugar levels. They're like, what the heck? I'm not eating any food. But what you don't realize, the fasting is actually releasing some sugar stores in your glycogen. And so sometimes that will boost your blood sugar levels in the midst of a fast, even though you're not eating any food. I've done a 21-day fast a few times, and I've been on like day 12, 13, where I'd see a 137 blood sugar. Now, day 12 or 13, you should not be seeing blood sugar levels that high. You haven't had any food, and I'm talking about water and salt only fast. You haven't had any food in 12 days, 12, 13 days. what's going on? Well, as you're releasing stored body fat, there's going to be little pockets of sugar in the body that's tied up in there. And when those release in the bloodstream and you prick your finger at that moment to test your blood sugar, it's going to see a higher blood sugar rating. So I wonder if it's something like that, Bulletproof, where the dry brushing is stimulating something that's releasing. I would think it's only temporary. You can't just do it one time and say, well, that's what is going to happen every time. I don't believe that. Wendy also feels itchy. So you're not alone with that. I do think it's because it's moving things around in the body that needed to be moved. Arlene is here. Jules is here. I'll definitely try it again and see. I'm sure I need to do it more to move things. Yeah, more and more consistent. Alice, Joseph, Sherry. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I got to get out of these wet trunks because it's very uncomfortable with cold, drippy, wet swimming trunks on. And I'm not taking my clothes off in front of you guys. So I will save that for the right person one of these days. So. All right, guys, let me pop off of here for now. As always, thanks for watching day number 92. I will be back again tomorrow for the walk and talk at 11 a.m. Eastern time, and then the ice bath video, day 93, at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So until then, we'll see you then. Bye, guys.